info for beachgoers and an interview with a veteran on this episode of Barnstable Today. It's Friday, May 25th, 2012. I'm Sarah Colvin. Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to the summer season here on Cape Cod, and if the weather's right, many may be flocking to the shores of Sandy Neck, and lots like to do so in a four-wheel drive vehicle. Sandy Neck Beach Park manager Nina Coleman has some advice for those who might be new to the ORV sticker process.
Well, it is true. A lot of people actually are first-time sticker holders this year. We're seeing a real jump in our beach use, particularly because of the good weather. So we have a lot of people showing up that we call newbies, or people first-time users of the beach. So when you come down to Sandy Neck, you need to have a four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive vehicle. And it needs to have enough clearance off the ground, so certain all-wheel drive vehicles that are more like cars are not going to pass our inspection because they're not going to have the clearance to get over that sand without, bottoming out and getting stuck.
Surely.
The individual who comes down needs to bring their 6 items of equipment, which is a full-size spare tire. That one's a little tricky. Some of these vehicles, particularly the really nice vehicles, do not have a full-size spare.
That's what got me last year. I've got an old Jeep, and I did not have a full-size spare, and I did not get my permit. But this year, I do have my full-size spare. So
yeah, I advise people to go to a junkyard and just get something that's going to be the same, because when you do get a flat, which happens quite a bit out there, there's no way that vehicle will push through the sand if the tires are that different.
Absolutely.
So the full-size spare, the jack that comes with the vehicle is going to suffice. A support board, and we need that to be minimum 18 by 18 inches. It needs to be 3/4 inch thick. So you kind of got to pick out the right board out of your garage. It can't just be any old piece of junk. It's got to be something that would be able to support your vehicle or your jack. You need a tire pressure gauge that goes down to 10 psi, and tow rope, minimum 50 feet long, and shovel. Always a shovel. And everybody wants to know about the shovel. You are welcome to get one of those military folding shovels. They fit in nicely, particularly in those Jeeps. As you say, you have very limited space.
Absolutely.
But you're sure going to want a real one when you get stuck. And then the registration for your vehicle needs to be in your name or somebody that lives in your household. The leased vehicles are difficult. We do allow stickers on leased vehicles as long as it's at least a 1-year lease. We don't allow rental vehicles on the beach. Those people, none of the off-road vehicle beaches on Cape Cod allow rental vehicles. I know it's frustrating for some people, but basically, when you show up with a rental, you're not invested in taking care of that vehicle, and there's no, you can't remove a sticker. They can't get stuck on the windshield. It needs to be your vehicle. A leased vehicle with a minimum 1-year lease. A lot of people lease vehicles. They can bring in a cover sheet of their lease.
Nina also filled us in on some changes to the parking configuration at Sandy Neck. Configuration changes that will only go into effect should there be piping plover-related beach closures.
Essentially, in a nutshell, Sandy Neck off-road vehicle use has continued to increase every year, and it's gone up 40% since 2003. So in the last 9 years, we've gone up 40%, and that's a very significant amount of increase. And so the big reason that we have so many vehicles that are people purchasing stickers is because the other big beaches on the Cape, the Seashore and Nauset, are unfortunately experiencing beach closures due to piping plovers for most of the summer, quite frankly. So all of those folks that were on those beaches are now, particularly the campers, are coming over to Sandy Neck. And we've reached our carrying capacity, in my opinion. So the biggest concern is safety. You get to a density of vehicles and people and children and dogs and paraphernalia and junk, it's too much for safety. And so what we have come up with over the winter is a parking plan on the beach. And I want to just say, I'm going to say it a few times, it's only going to happen once we start having beach closures. So this weekend is status quo. What everybody's used to is happening this weekend. So when those closures occur, and we have reduced amount of beach, we will be implementing a new parking plan. And it will be on the web, and it will be explained to you as you come through the gate. But essentially, we're going to have areas for campers and areas for day trippers. When those areas fill up, we will be turning away vehicles. We'll be turning away campers when the camper areas fills up, and we'll be turning away day trippers. We're also going to be trying to park everybody a little more organized and as much as possible on the water side. So what that does is it hopefully gets more vehicles on the beach, and it also gets more vehicles on the beach safely because you won't have so many people crossing over the corridor, the ORV road.
Again, 4.5 miles of beach are open this weekend. No Plover closures are expected until June. We are heading into Memorial Day weekend, of course, and while we like to think of beaches and barbecue, it's also a time to reflect and think of those who served. I caught up with World War II vet Joe Gentile at the Barnstable Senior Center's flag-raising ceremony this Thursday morning. As we continue to talk about Memorial Day here on Barnstable Today, I welcome Mr. Joe Gentile. Joe, and I understand you are a World War II veteran.
Yes, I'm a World War II veteran. I've served over the South Pacific and spent some time on the island of Inuiatak. And so after this service, I've got more involved there with veterans and therefore being a commander since 2004 and probably wind up, I guess, as a lifetime job. Well, anyway, it's great to be able to celebrate this, all these holidays like Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Flag Day, and all that goes with it. The disposing of flags and other functions there, selling of the poppies. We support the veterans and the troops, and well, much more than I can describe. So I am thankful that I'm here interviewing with
Barnstable this morning. Sarah Colvin that's my name. But Joe, really, and we thank you so much for your service, and wonderful to see that you are still so dedicated to the cause. Do you have any sort of message you'd like to send out to perhaps families of those who have gone, or families of those who have people that are serving, or anyone connected with veterans or soldiers? Any sort of Memorial Day message you have?
Well, we celebrate Memorial Days for those that have lost a loved one. And it's tragic that you people have lost a loved one, and all we can do is share your sorrows.
Well, Joe, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your service.
All right, thank you.
The town of Barnstable's Memorial Day Parade is taking place on Monday in Centerville. The parade forms at 9:30 a.m. at the Centerville Library and begins sharply at 10 a.m. The parade proceeds down Main Street to Monument Square for a brief program, then up Old Stage Road to Beechwood Cemetery. The parade then reforms and returns to the library. At 12:15, the John F. Kennedy Memorial Trust Fund's annual Memorial Day ceremony begins at Veterans Beach. With Barnstable Today, I'm Sarah Colvin.